Working out hard every day to be the best I can. I shifted to the right, shifted to the left, hunker down low and reach high to the sky. Got my rhythm down pat, so they say. I'm looking like a winner in every way. So when I hear somebody say, what a horse, I know they're talking about me, of course. And I'm gonna be in that winner's circle someday. Yeah, I'm a prime example of a Tennessee walker, a high-stepping, fast-walking Tennessee talker. I'm gonna be in that winner's circle someday.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Water Horse. We're glad you guys could join us today. I'm Jim Fuller. I'll be your co-host today, and as always, it's my pleasure to be working with Jerry Williams, probably one of the best horse trainers in the South.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot.
And I assume you've recovered from all the snow and ice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have.
Flood that we had after that. So you're ready to settle down.
I'm ready to settle down and get back to train these horses now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you've only got, what, about a month?
Yeah, about a month before the show starts. First show starts, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I've asked Jerry on a number of occasions, but it's a myth that horse trainers don't have anything to do in the off season.
Yeah, we kind of work here and there and try to work most on them young horses during the off season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what we try to do.
I think you told me a couple of weeks ago that that's in the off season is when you really try to get them trained. Get them trained,
yeah.
Get them in the groove.
Yeah, you just pretty much maintain them during the show season. You try to train them during the off season.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back in just a moment with today's show.
Hi, it's your friend Abby at Jim Armstrong Subaru. Just wanted you to know KBB voted Subaru Best Overall and Most Trusted Brand once again. ACSI also named Subaru #1 in vehicle safety, and J.D. Power also named Subaru #1 in brand loyalty. Last but not least, they're #1 in my book too. So come see me and your other friends at Jim Armstrong Subaru and see what being #1 is all about.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Food can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Same bloodline, same mother, same father, and here he is. Now this is the offspring. Now Hero is standing at stud at Jerry Williams' stable.
Yes. Now I'm gonna tell you, that's a real nice horse. That horse had an injury happen to him in the stall when he was young. But now I tell you, got a lot of talent. That Hero horse does. He's a real nice horse.
Welcome back to Water Horse, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few announcements we want to make here before we kick off and bring you some video here in just a few minutes. Jerry, you jump in here if you got anything to add to all of this. But the Trainers Banquet and Horse of the Year Awards is coming up the weekend of February 2nd and 3rd, and that's going to be in Franklin, Tennessee. So that's always a big event.
Yeah, that's a big event, yeah.
Yeah, everybody looks forward to that, and hopefully we'll be bringing you some of those winners of that event right here on What a Horse. Judge's Clinic will be in Shelbyville on Saturday. That's coming. That's this Saturday, I believe, in the Blue Ribbon Circle, and that starts at 9 o'clock this Saturday. The Walking Horse Alabama Auxiliary Lunch for Camp Smile a Mile is coming up on February 17th of this year in Huntsville, Alabama. And that event is located at the Alabama A&M Agribusiness Center in Huntsville, Alabama. The contact there, if you'd like to be a part of that, is the contact is David Latham. You can reach David at 256-572-1820 or Gerald Campbell at 205-566-6091. Now, and also Nathan Clark at 256-505-1210 and Joan Kemp at 205-566-6090. And stud fees on the top stallions in the industry will be auctioned off as well to raise money for that. And that is a very worthy cause, Jerry.
Yes,
and,
it is.
This event, since it started, has raised over $575,000 for Camp Smile a Mile. And that's a camp, I believe, for children.
Yes, that's a real good, deal that goes on. That's that's helping everybody right there at that camp right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of children are going to benefit from this, and they've done just a fantastic job raising money to make all of this happen. And I'm sure it takes a lot of money to make this happen. And $575,000 since that event started. And What a Horse will be there to film that event. All right, we're going to have some video here in just a moment. I think today we're going to be talking about the inspection process, which
yes.
I bet you've been through a time or two.
Oh, yeah, I have been through it. A time or two. It just, that inspection so executive,
Right.
I mean, you got different people that's checking horses or whatever, and, everybody got a different feel for everything that you do. You can have 5 people and all 5 people gonna check things different.
That's different than a lot of sports and stuff that you see,
Yeah.
where the rules are pretty well set, and you know what to count on. But
Yeah.
that's not the case.
That's not the case. That's just like shaking a person's hand.
Yeah.
You got some people you shake hand, they shake soft. Some people got a firm grip. Some people got a soft grip. So that's about
Right.
the same way on checking them horses.
And we're watching now the inspection process, actually. What are they looking for there, Jerry?
They're looking for scars and sensitivity on that horse.
Right.
And the way that they palpating that horse right there, and that's the correct way you check a horse right there. You check him all over, you apply pressure, but not too much pressure
Right.
to it, And now that right there, when they checking them horses right there, now one thing that, to me, and this is my opinion, that I see wrong, you got gloves on and you checking that horse's foot, and anything rubber gloves with hair, it pulls.
Right.
I mean, if you was a beautician and you got rubber gloves on and you pull somebody's hair, you're gonna pull it and you're gonna have a reaction to it.
And if that horse moves, it could cause you to be disqualified.
Disqualified.
Right?
You're exactly right. And this right here, they taking X-rays of that horse's legs and all that stuff.
What do they hope to accomplish by the X-rays?
Well, they're just trying to see if they got anything illegal in that horse's shoe or whatever. That's pretty much what they are kind of looking for. And they measuring that horse's hoof right there and the package to make sure everything's is legal on there. And as again, and I didn't know this until I watched this one of the inspection things, that rulers measure different.
Really?
Yeah. You got different measurements on all different types of rulers.
So there is a one of the rules is how big that shoe is.
How big that package is.
Right.
That's one of the rules. You can't have no more than 2 inches of a package in the front.
Right. So are those things that you check as a trainer before
Yes,
you
we
go
check
in there?
before you go up there to make sure that everything all right. Your horseshoers usually do it, but sometimes it's just like everything else. That horseshoe is shoeing that horse, and he's going to shoe that horse to his best of knowledge.
Right.
But I am the one responsible when I take that horse up through inspection. And so I'm the one that got to make sure it's right at the rules like it's supposed to be.
Because if there's some punishment here, you're going to be the guy
I'm the one that go take it.
Right.
I'm going to be the man that takes it.
Right.
So that's why I always double check all the time when I get ready on the shoe, and to make sure the shoes is right and the bands is not too close to the hairline and all that stuff.
I bet you probably feel that horse's foot and make sure he's solid and he's not.
And not moving and everything else, But, it's... An animal is an animal.
Right.
Just like you can't tell, you'll tell a person that dog ain't never bit nobody, but you don't never.
Right. You don't never know when he's going.
When he's going to,
Right.
And just because that horse move his feet, that don't mean that horse is a sore horse or whatever. It just up to that horse at that point in time.
And there have been numerous cases where by the use of video, the person inspecting the horse is pressing in the wrong place.
In the wrong place, yeah. All horses, you got nerves that's going down that horse's legs. And it's just like anything else. If you can push that nerve just right, you'll have some kind of reaction.
Right.
If you put too much pressure to it.
I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but if they're doing that wrong, that horse could move, and actually there's nothing wrong with
that horse. You are right. And I mean, it's just like anything else. You have good people and bad people.
Right.
And you got some, I ain't going to say all your VMOs, your government officials are bad people. No, I'm not going to sit here and say that because they're going to do it by right. But you got some of them that got a thing that they got to prove something, and they'll do whatever it takes. It's like a cop.
Right.
It's the same way. We're going to have a voice over here.
Upon entering the DQP inspection area, the handler gives the horse's back number and class number for which he's been entered. The first part of the inspection process is thermography, looking for any abnormal heat patterns. The second part of this procedure is referred to as swabbing, otherwise known as gas chromography. Looking for the application of any foreign substances, the pastern areas will be swabbed in each area, the back, the sides, and the front. Each pastern area is swabbed independently. The second part of the inspection process, the horse is led in front of the DQP, directed to do a figure 8 around 2 cones. The DQP himself monitors the horse's movement, so the horse maintains free and easy movement at all times. Then the horse is directed to the DQP inspector, and his process begins. Always with the left foreleg. The inspector will palpate the tendon area and then move to the rear pastern of the horse's ankle. Then the foreleg is moved forward in front of the horse, and the inspector checks for any sensitive areas on the sides and the front. Then the inspector will move over to the right foreleg and begin the same process again. It's after this inspection by the DQP that the VMO, or the USDA veterinarian, will step in. He'll monitor the horse's movement around this same figure 8 pattern. Then the horse is directed back to the VMO for his process of inspection to begin. The final stage of the DQP inspection process, the horse is led over to perform x-rays on each foreleg, again beginning with the left leg and then proceeding to the right to check for any rotation in the coffin bone. Upon being cleared in all these different areas of the inspection process, the horse is directed to the warm-up area, and then the process begins to prepare the horse for competition.
All right, and that kind of shows you what actually goes on in those inspections. You know, at one time, we were not allowed to video this whole inspection process, and that changed largely because of the efforts of wah2105, and in particular, Jerry Harris, the executive director of wah2105, who went to Judd Matheny, who was a state legislator at that time, and they passed a piece of legislation that allows, that gives us the right to inspect those horses now, to rather video those horses. And I think we're going to give you a little video now about how that law came into being.
Representative Matheny, you're recognized on House Bill 2189.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 2189 simply states that unless otherwise prohibited by federal law, the owner of any animal that is subject to inspection in this state for the purpose of determining compliance with any statutory or regulatory requirement shall be permitted to personally record such inspection by audiovisual means or designate an agent to record such inspection by audiovisual means. And I would like to go into recess in just a minute as soon as we get the technical difficulties worked out. The gentleman next to me brought this to me not from the horse industry or from the celebration, but as an avid person that participates in that. And there's been some what we would call some usurping of people's rights by the federal government, by them not allowing individuals to be present when their animals are being inspected. All this bill simply states, and I'm also prepared to bring the Farm Bureau up here to speak on behalf of this bill. All this bill simply states is that if you have an animal that is being inspected by a state or a federal agency, that you have the right as that animal's owner to also have that inspection videotaped, not to interfere with the inspection, not to add to or to subtract to it, but simply to record the inspection itself. And that's what this bill does, and he has some testimony he'd like to give about the abuse that led to the necessity of this law within the horse industry.
Without objection, we'll stand in recess. We are in recess. Would you please state your name and where you're from and things of that nature?
My name's Jerry Harris. I am with a small TV studio in Tullahoma, Tennessee. I'm just going to make this very short. This is not against the HPA. What this is asking for a video bill allowing people to video their inspections at horse shows.
Kevin Shea, APHIS administrator, said he wants to eliminate the abused horse, but this is an example of the horses the USDA inspectors turned down, even though industry veterinarians and DQPs passed them. Auburn and LSU veterinarian schools checked one of these horses and said there was no scar or signs of abuse, but still, Rachel Cesar sent text messages to DQPs threatening them if they didn't turn the horse down. The industry went so far as to contract industry veterinarians to pre-inspect horses before they went up for their entry inspections to ensure only compliant horses would be presented. The USDA continued to turn down horses passed by the industry veterinarians. When the USDA arrives, they come not only with multiple inspectors, but with as many as 9 armed guards. They continue to use thermography in open areas, knowing it will show false readings, and when taking pictures, they use a red light to cast a red tint to the horse's foot. Even though trainers look for any sign of a blemish before they go to a show, once there, they are faced with subjective inspection methods and explanations like these from the USDA inspectors.
When you can feel the roll of the top of it, that's a scar, even if it's only 2 or 3 cells thick.
Can I ask you to show me where the scar is that you say that you found, please?
Sure. Once you put that away, you can
okay.
You need to leave the horse.
So no one's going to show me where the scar is that they turned this horse down on?
You need to leave the inspection area.
Industry HIOs welcome anyone to video their inspections to prove our horses are being inspected thoroughly, even inviting Channel 5 News to video, but once the USDA arrived, armed guards removed them.
Could you have her quit filming until we get outside?
After one of the USDA inspectors was charged with assault for slapping a cell phone out of the hand of a trainer videoing an inspection, Kevin Shea allowed videoing, but when one of their guards was charged with assault, he had all videoing stopped. Dr. Desjardins helped get permission for us to video during the celebration, but we had to do it from outside the arena. And this is an example of what the guards were told to do.
It's not the people that are causing the problem. It's the USDA even blocking the video and when we can video. So what we're asking is for a law that will allow us to gain evidence to where when we go into court, we've got something to show what we're saying our horse, the condition we're saying our horses are in.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate you being here today and appreciate your words. And anytime we have a federal intervention of that nature, we have take a special interest. Representative Matheny, we're back in session, and you are recognized again on House Bill 2189.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. Basically, this came out of the horse industry as a way for a legitimate trainer and owner to be able to vend themselves based on hearsay evidence that the federal government was putting forward because they were not allowed to videotape their own evidence.
Representative Shaw, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know if this is for the sponsor of the bill or for the gentleman, but what led up to this? Can you just briefly tell us roughly what happened that?
Yes, sir. About 6 years of frustration between the USDA and the walking horse industry finally led to this. There were some, very few, but a couple of egregious examples within the horse industry of a scarring rule where they would put an irritant on a horse to make them step higher. That has all but been eradicated, but it has been over-policed now by the federal government. And it has been over-policed to such a point that it has put into jeopardy many horse shows and the livelihood of many trainers and breeders. because many times it is believed by these trainers and these breeders that the federal government has overstepped their bounds and called a horse to be scarred when it actually wasn't, yet the owner and the trainer had no evidence to prove that it wasn't scarred other than their word. This simply allows them to videotape what the federal inspectors are doing and to be able to see the same thing that they're doing and to be able to use that as evidence in court. What this bill actually does do, though, it goes a step further, and it just says that anyone, and this would include yourself, Representative Shaw, if you had an animal at your home that was being videotaped by a state inspector or a federal inspector for animal cruelty or for any other means, that you also would have the right to be able to simply videotape it. You could not be barred from doing that for your own evidence.
Okay. Two quick questions, follow up. What is HPA? What does that stand for?
It's a Horse Breeders Association.
Okay.
Horse Protection Act, I'm sorry.
Okay.
HPA.
And so this would be for a court action case, or
it could be. Ultimately, that's what it would be used. It would be used as probably a defense in a court action, because obviously you would be brought forward as a defendant in a federal court action. But it could be used for to defend yourselves against other examples of cruelty or malfeasance.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Any more questions? Not seeing any questions. Without objection to question, we'll vote on House Bill 2189. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? House Bill 2189 goes forward.
All right, so that's giving you a little history on how to, that video you saw was from 2016.
Yes.
So it's been around for, we've been able to video that process since then, so which has been quite helpful.
They have been, and it needed it.
Yeah.
I mean, you go now, policemen now have their camcorders on them,
Right.
the videos for their safety and the, and the other person's safety.
Correct.
So that's the same thing with this. This is for the inspection safety and the person that handling the horse safety.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. Exactly. So, okay, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Stay with us. We'll be right back in a moment with lots more.
The Tennessee Walking Horse is rapidly becoming the horse of choice when selecting a great ride for the family. If you're looking for a smooth, easy ride on the trail that will take you through hills and streams or obstacle course competition, the versatility of the Tennessee Walking Horse will stand out by showing its willingness to learn and its smooth, easy, steady gait through the course. If it's a competitive show horse you're looking for, the Tennessee Walking Horse is the perfect family horse by young and old. Whether it's flat shot or padded performance classes for an amateur adult or youth, a walking horse is the horse of choice. The Tennessee Walking Horse is perfect for every equestrian division. Also, remember one simple truth.
If you ride one today, you'll own one tomorrow. That's a fact.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, I have a big passion for the Tennessee Walking Horse, but I also have another passion, and that's for communication systems and saving my customers money. And we've done automobile dealerships, shoe stores, law offices, dentist offices, even the Breeders Association. I have installed systems from California to New York to Florida. And now, for a limited time, I am giving 3 months free service to everybody that signs up for Host My Calls. And there will be no installation charge. Call me today, 931-581-4411, and see if I can save you money on your communications.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Welcome back to Water Horse, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring you a little bit more video on inspection processes right now. And one of the things that everybody may not realize is that not all of these inspectors show up, 7, 8, 9, whatever, but not all of them by any stretch of the imagination are even equine inspectors.
Yes.
They may inspect other things, but they bring them into these shows quite frequently to do this process. So some of them are new, some of them are quite experienced, as you're probably going to see in this video coming up here in just a moment.
We've got a lot of talking about inspections. And I've told everybody, video your inspections. Video them. So I had the opportunity to get a little video this weekend. And I want everybody to pay attention to the time that is spent on inspecting a horse. Here is a gentleman going over all the paperwork and everything to make sure everything's right. And he's doing it the way he's supposed to do it.
Yes. Well, he experienced with it.
He's experienced and he knows what he's doing.
That's right.
He's checking all this, just getting everything straight. I want you to watch how long it takes this gentleman to inspect the horse. And if you look in the right hand bottom corner of your TV, you will see a timer. Now he's thoroughly inspecting the horse the way the Horse Protection Act asks for it. Looked at the feet to make sure there was no scars, blemishes, or anything. Then he palpated, got done, put the foot down. Now he checked the front foot. Now he's going to the right foot.
Well, Jerry, if you experience and you know what you're looking for, you don't have to take a long time.
No.
It don't take long to figure out what he want to do.
If something's wrong with a horse, you're going to see it right off the bat. 51.29 seconds. Now watch this one. All right, they done went over the paperwork. So now watch her. And there's a difference in people in the way they inspect. But if you notice, she's got a flashlight out, she's parting hairs, she's doing whatever she can, and then instead of holding the horse's foot down where the other man did, the man did, she's holding it up on the limb.
Yeah.
There's a reason why inspections are done properly, and reasons why they're not. And she's giving you an example of someone that is doing their best to find anything that they can call a horse out on. And to me, that's unprofessional.
It's just,
Well,
but that's the difference between being experienced and not experienced.
It is. It's a major difference in what they're doing.
That's right.
And the way they're doing it. And then people want to know why we get upset. This is why we get upset. We get upset because people come back there and whatever they can do to cause a problem, they want to do it. And that, to me, is the most upsetting thing of all. I don't agree with the judging a lot of the time. But here's a prime example why you don't agree with the inspection process. She's holding the horse's limb where she shouldn't be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if you notice, when she's touching him, he ain't moving. It's when she's not touching him that he's moving. But now we'll give her credit for one thing. The horse show.
Yeah.
She did not go overboard with the way she was causing it to move. Now there you go. She's through with the front, but now she goes around and gets the back too. And now he's ready to show.
All right, so that gives you kind of an example. You pointed that out just a moment, Jerry, that it took quite a bit longer for the young lady to check that horse than it did the one that was experienced.
Experienced to do it. That's right. You know, that guy there, he's been doing it for years, and he knows exactly what he look for. If you experience on what you're doing, it don't take you long to find something out.
Right.
You know, it's just like a person that was going to a drug house. If you a man that's over the drug dealing, you know exactly when you first go in there if something wrong or not. You know, you exactly, you know.
Right. So that kind of gives you a little insight on what we've been through in this industry with the inspection process, and still do go through that to some extent. We were talking earlier about the Horse of the Year event coming up.
Yes.
And so right now I think we're going to show you some video of the 2022 winners in the Horse of the Year.
And see if some of them will repeat. Joe Jacobs, I say you probably see her back winning something again this year, and one of the other divisions. She shows a lot.
They got a lot of horses.
Yes,
Joe Jacobs and that family.
She does a real good job.
That young lady's pretty young, isn't
yeah,
she?
she is. She is. She won a world champion in lead line, world champion equitation. I mean, she just won a lot. She's done a lot in her little young life than most people that go elderly life. Dark Rain, he's a real nice horse. I'd say quite a few of these horses, you'll see them win High Point Horse of the Year.
Right.
You know. And you have a lot of new ones that's out there that come out and win something.
I would imagine that that winning in this Horse of the Year event improves the value of that horse.
Yes, it does. It improves the value, and people get excited about this. You wouldn't believe the people that's ready to go to that banquet to watch.
Yeah.
You know, if they're gonna win or not.
Taylor Walters and Dark Rain, that horse has been around for a while.
Yeah. The Walters is a good family there. There's real nice people.
Are they're from California, correctly?
I think so.
Yeah.
Her and her mom, real good riders.
Yeah. Is her mom Molly?
Yeah. I tell you, their horse trainer Edgar does a good job with that horse there too.
Yeah.
You know, riders do a lot, but I'm gonna tell you, it takes that trainer out there that's working that horse, because that rider only gets to ride that horse when you get that horse show. That trainer works that horse all day, every day to get him ready for that rider to ride.
So Edgar Abernathy's her trainer, yeah. Another Jake Jacobs horse there.
Jake and them since then opened up a new barn there in Murfreesboro with Spencer Benedict is the horse trainer over there.
I see.
Yeah. a real nice place. Spence and RM does a real good job on training these horses too. Jake is getting his whole family involved. I see his wife has started showing some.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that Jake riding there?
Yeah. Uh-huh. I hope this next week we can see a lot more, some of these same horses and some new ones that's out there, you know. Let them win the Horse of the Year award.
Mr. Heisman.
That horse there have won his fair share of blue ribbons. He's been around for a good while. That's why I think this breed is so incredible, because that horse there is way over 15 years old, 16 years old, and still competing today, you know, and still doing the same lick as the horses of the day doing.
Right.
You know, you catch a lot of other breeds, when they get up in age, they done out in the pasture or retired or something like that, but these horses here, steady goes.
And you see him competing on up past 20.
Yes, 20 years old. You're exactly right. Bruce, he really loved riding them horses.
Yeah, he does. He's always got 2 or 3 good ones.
Yes.
Really good ones.
That's another one of Bruce and Robin's horses there, that Cavender horse.
Right.
I would say he probably been running this year for the 4-year-old contender.
At 3 years old, are they pretty much set as far as being trained?
They pretty close, you know. By the time they turn 4, and then they get that 4 to 5, you know, that's when you call them age horses after they turn, you know, 5 years old. They kind of pretty much set, you know. They still growing a lot when they 3 years old, 2 and 3 years old. You know, every year you can see them get better and better. I always compare horses to kids and stuff like that. They about the same way. You know, you'll see a kid every year get better and better in school. Yeah. The same way. Then they get as old as I am and get stubborn.
Taylor Walters again on Manny.
Uh-huh.
Can we assume that horse was named after Peyton Manning?
I'm going to say so. If I was a betting man, that's what I'd bet on. Now them horses right there she have, now you really can call them horse of the year, because you gonna see them show all during the year.
Yeah.
All during the year, you know, and they win a lot.
She's limitless.
Molly, her mom, that's a real good mare.
I think Molly lives in California, but she travels here a lot
Yes,
to show those horses.
That mare right there can go in the history books as one of the great mares that's been out there.
Right.
It's a bunch of good mares, but I mean, you'll see a few of them that stands out.
Uptight Jose and Bruce McDonald. Bruce and Molly Walters' family had a good year last year.
Oh yeah, they did have a good year. But they show a lot, you know. Every
Yeah.
time you look in that ring, you see them out there showing, supporting the horse shows and everything else. Like I say, a lot of episodes that it ain't nothing like watching a video of that horse going around that ring.
Right.
Pictures only can say so much, but that video says a lot.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. That's one good thing about television, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right.
All right, folks, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Stay with us. We got more video coming up right after this.
Cold weather affects all animals differently. Animals can handle cold weather and they can handle wet conditions, but when you put both of these together, it can be extremely dangerous. Horses can naturally withstand 0 degrees Fahrenheit. With shelter, they can survive below -40 degrees Fahrenheit. All horses have what is called a lower critical temperature. This can vary depending on where the horse lives. If it gets below the horse's lower critical temperature, they will need to consume more hay to produce more body heat. With the colder weather, the accumulation of dried material without adequate water can result in impaction colic. Eating snow or licking ice can help, but it's not a sufficient water source. Most horses prefer water between 45 degrees Fahrenheit and 65 degrees Fahrenheit.
Welcome to where the 5 to 9 more than makes up for the 9 to 5. To where you check your troubles, along with your coat. And days are made, even at 10 at night. Welcome to the best time you've ever had, since the last time you were here. To old friends, new experiences, and forgotten cares. Welcome to where life moves at the speed of you. Welcome to Sam's Town Tunica Hotel and Gambling Hall by Boyd. Welcome to where you want to be.
Where does your donation to the Humane Society of the United States really go? Their CEO makes more than $450,000. Their top execs make more than $200,000 each. The Humane Society of the United States isn't even affiliated with any local humane societies and only gives about 1% of the money it raises to local pet shelters. So, if you want to help homeless pets, give to local shelters. Learn more at humanewatch.org.
More of What a Horse coming up.
Welcome back to Water Horse, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, the Trainers Banquet's coming up this weekend, and Horse of the Year awards will also be presented at that banquet,
Yes.
I think. And that's what we're doing today, or at least doing right now. We're kind of looking at some of those horses that won last year and might win again.
Yes. Honeybee, my honeybee. That's another good mare. In the last few years, they didn't come up with a lot of good mares.
Yeah.
Out there that's showing. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one here up in the top of winning. Biggest thing about these videos, when you get old and gray, and a grandma or grandpa, you can go back and look at them when you was younger and what you showed at the horse shows.
Right,
you know?
absolutely.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I know, Jerry. We've been in the television business for about 30 years now. Occasionally, you'll go back and look at yourself when we started.
Yes.
And it's rather depressing. Not so with the horses, though. At least it brings back good memories.
Good memories. Especially when you win, like at shows, like at Celebration. And,
right.
And make it world grand champion and world champions, you know. This horse here, Jake Jacobs owned, this True Blue horse. That's a real nice horse. With R.M. Kelly showing. Remember, in Waddell. Now this horse here showed probably more than any horse last year than, you know, horses in the sea, because almost every time you looked up, you seen this horse in the ring.
Epic and Megan Hammond, Amateur Show Pleasure Division. I think this video is from the Celebration, probably.
Yes.
Looks like it.
That was a real good horse. You know, he passed on now, but he's.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Allie Joe again. You know, you got to realize it's a lot for that young lady right there to take in on different horses that she shows and different styles that she have to ride. You know, it's.
Yeah, and I think it's also a credit to Allie Joe in this case, and also the horses, because you know that young lady, as small as she is, can control and get that horse to do what she wants him to.
That's like Eli Cunningham right here. He does a good job on this horse right here, Medalist. I mean, he have won a lot and done a lot of stuff with this horse. A good young rider right there. The funny thing about this, Jim, is here in another few years, they'll be grown ups and stuff like that, and we'll be walking around here.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
When you see them grow up.
Yeah. I just see a lot of them grow up in this horse business. Well, I grew up in this horse business.
I see pictures of Allison Thorson. First time I met Allison, she was about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And now she's grown up, married, and
Georgia front line. Robert Dortch on.
Robert Dortch, really nice guy. I get to talk to him
nice.
a lot, and he's just a really, really nice guy. Loves these walking horses.
Yes.
All right. Kind of get you excited about watching this event or seeing this event coming up this weekend.
That's right, and try to see if you, when you sit in that seat and they're going to call your name out and see did you win or not.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's got to be a great thrill.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when your name gets called out,
Oh,
your
yeah.
horse. And, you know, the thing about these horses is people treat them like kids. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure you see it all the time. It's like it's a member of your family just did something really,
You were
really
right.
good.
I tell you, these horses know when them owners come because they get to jumping around that stall because they know they got treats or something
Yeah.
for them to bring. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And maybe you don't realize horses are like that, but because they're big, but they get excited about treats and stuff like that as well. And so, and their owners, as I said, it's almost like people talk about that don't know any better talk about people abusing these horses. I never see that.
No, them horses
you know,
treated
they're
real well. I mean, them owners, they get treated and everything else.
Right. Yeah, they're just like a member of the family. Jerry, I believe we've expended all our time today, and I guess we're going to see you, or Jerry will see you next week.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Working out hard every day to be the best I can. I shifted to the right, shifted to the left, hunker down low and reach high to the sky. Got my rhythm down pat, so they say. I'm looking like a winner in every way. So when I hear somebody say, what a horse, I know they're talking about me, of course. And I'm gonna be in that winner's circle someday. Yeah, I'm a prime example of a Tennessee walker, a high-stepping, fast-walking Tennessee talker. I'm gonna be in that winner's circle someday. Please start talking.